Hi, Maggie. Hi, everyone. I'm not super talkative tonight. Don't feel that great, but please take a guess who you think the couple is in the comments. And I'm making them small enough. I should be able to finish during this live, so you should see both of them. So take a wild guess who you think the couple is. It can be a movie couple, a book couple, a celebrity couple, a YouTube couple. I'm not saying. And no, I have no drawings or anything. I am totally making this up on the fly. We will see if that ends up being a good decision or not. Hi, Blair. I don't want to do it on the table because you'll hear the thing. But my arms are getting tired. Crocheting up in the air. Maybe I can kind of muffle the sound with my basket. Oh my goodness, I'm not even paying attention. I need to get the other color ready. There we go. Hi, everyone. Hi, Alessia. Hi, Blair. Hi, Maggie. Anyone I missed? I'm not as familiar with this particular yarn that I'm using. I know these, I love this yarn, but I have to use, I couldn't find my black, so I have to use this black, and it's a little different. Hopefully it won't throw off things too much. We shall see. Hi, J Baby. Oops. Sorry, I got out of frame. Not gonna use any fancy techniques tonight. I'm tired. So my color changes are gonna be sloppy tonight. Sorry. Also, it's very small. Oh, stop pushing me out of frame. You know what? I think I'm going to switch to a different hook. I don't think this hook is good for amigurumi. Or at least this yarn. Yeah, I've had it with that. I have zero patience tonight. Not dealing with a slippery hook. Okay. You stay here. Yeah, it needed a little bit more stick. There we go. Everyone, please subscribe to Teresa's channel. Thank you. So who do you think I'm making? Take a guess. No, it's not. This is the My Ami by Hirschner's, and this one was the Crochet Society Charmed DK, which is slightly thinner than the My Ami, but I don't really have a choice. I don't know where my black is, so. I've had this particular couple on my mind for a few days now, so I finally decided I should just do it. But I'm tired and my hands are shaky and I do not feel good, so I have no idea if this will turn out okay or not. I might even delete this live, I don't know yet. I wasn't planning on going live, but I came downstairs and everyone was asleep, and I wasn't expecting that either. It's way too early for them to be asleep, but whatever. Oh, the tray? I don't know. It's a really old yarn, that's all I know. Yeah, I just made a little tray so that my hook wouldn't go flying off the table. Plus I want to take care of it because it's a nice hook. But it just wasn't doing its job, so yeah. I can cut this one now. Yeah, it's a different size, so it's going to throw off the tension. Oh well. That's what we have so far. Feel free to make your guesses. Who is it? Hi, B. Pollock. That's one. Any guesses? Not a clue. Well, I'll help you out. This is the guy. This is the girl. Oh, and this color isn't exactly right, but it's all I've got in this yarn that's even remotely close, so I'm going with it. But I would like it to be a lot darker. Yes. They are a couple. That's why it says Valentine edition. Let me try doing this again without messing up this time. No. Yeah, I knew who you meant. No. That's a good one, though. Maybe I'll have to do them on another one. The Flintstones would be cute tots, though. That would be fun. Maybe I'll do like a Hanna-Barbera one. Do Hanna-Barbera couples. That'd be cute. Like Judy and George. Fred and Daphne. I'm sorry Penelope Pitstop never got anybody. She deserved it, but oh well. I love Hanna-Barbera. I grew up on those. I lived overseas. And so all the stuff my parents and grandparents grew up with, that's what I ended up growing up with because that's what they showed on international television. am I supposed to do 2? No. No, I'd have to do 3 so that it would, yeah, okay, never mind. I'd have to do 3. I might need a marker for this one. Jetsons would be really fun. I think Scooby-Doo ones this tall would be so cute too. There we go. I wanted to do a Johnny Quest set for my mom for her birthday last year, but it didn't happen. Maybe this year. Obviously, whatever I make, I'll show y'all on a video or something. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I want to make a regular size version of like my regular tots. I want to do Johnny Quest and Top Cat because those were my mom's favorites. Oh, and maybe the Herculoids, if anyone remembers that. Yeah. Yeah. Let me think what else would be fun. Well, I mean, you know, any of the Quick Draw McGraw show, like Snoops and Blab, and Augie Doggy and Augie Daddy, Snagglepuss, Huckleberry Hound. All of those could be fun. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Oh, for those who wanted to see that color change that I do, so I finished the stitch, right? Now I've got 2 loops. I've got a top loop and a side loop. Can you see that? I don't know, it's not focusing. It's focusing on that. Focus on this. There we go. Top loop and a side loop. So I take my hook and I stick it on the front loop and the side right here. Like that. Okay? And then I get my new color, which in this case is tan. Come on, here we go. And I loop it where the short tail would end up on the inside. And I pull it through like that. Okay, leaving this loop alone. And then I go into the next stitch, like this. Or in the back loop or wherever your instructions say, it doesn't matter. And then once you make 1 stitch, although I'm gonna make a couple just because it'll be easier for y'all to see if I make a few more. Okay. This is a long tail that belongs to this loop, and I'm gonna pull it, and I'm gonna pull the short tail. And I'm gonna pull the short tail of the tan. Just a little bit, and there you go. See? Ta-da! That's how you do that particular color change. I forget what it's called. I think it's the loop method, I forget. Anyway, that's how you do that. Because I know y'all have asked on other lives, so yay. Then you can just, if you're not using this color again, you can just snip it. So, ta-da. That's how I do that. For anyone who wondered. Okay. I make better color changes usually, but when they're so tiny, it kind of seems pointless to me to do the fancy stuff. Plus, it would change their height and Oh, I don't need you now. I can clearly see where that is. But yeah, I'd like to do Hanna-Barbera. I'm considering, if you weren't on my other live on Tuesday, I'm considering doing 12 days of Teeny Tots, where we make this size for ornaments. Or you can make them into keychains or whatever. And I don't know what theme I would pick. Maybe I should pick like classic TV or I don't know if I want to do Christmassy ones because one, I don't know if I would do it during Christmas, and two, you know, maybe it's something you could leave out all year or something. I don't know. I don't know yet, but I asked y'all if you wanted to do something like 12 Days of Tots, and you were interested, and so then I said, okay, well, what if we made them Teeny Tots, because they're very quick to make and very small and, you know, easy. And that was a resounding yes as well, so I'm thinking about it. I like the idea. What do you think the theme should be? Let me know. Should we do Christmas? Should we do like classic TV? Should we do movies from a certain decade or genre? Should it be random? Should we do objects instead of people? I don't know. See, if I had memberships, this is something I would ask the members. And they could help me figure out what to do. But I don't have any yet. Oh, thank you to everyone who liked. It's very kind. Am I doing this right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna do the color change again, so if you didn't see last time, I'm gonna show you again. I'm gonna make my last stitch in the row fully, and then I'm gonna pull up a little loop like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get my new color, which in this case is this really pretty golden color. I think it's called Honey. Oh no, beeswax. It's called beeswax. And there are 2 loops. Oops, sorry, okay. There's a front loop and a back loop. And then right here on the V, there is a side V here and a side V here, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hook and go under the front loop, like that, and also go under the side V that is closest to the stitch marker, like this. And then we're gonna take the new color like this, put it on our hook with the tail facing the inside of the piece so that when you pull it, it'll end up on the inside. And you just pull it through like that and make your next stitch. Oops, you need to move. There we go. Just make your next stitch. You can even make a couple of them if you want to, but I'm just going to make one. And now I'm going to pull the tiny tail of my yellow. There we go. I'm going to pull the big tail of the tan, like that. And we're done. Gonna keep going. See? And you can see the color changes. Like that. My only problem is I genuinely don't remember what color their eyes are. Watching this makes me feel good about myself because I thought I was a slow crocheter. Yeah, I know, I'm slow. I'm also sick, so... I'm not normally this slow, but I do not feel good and my hands keep shaking, so that's super fun. But I really liked this idea when I thought of it, so I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, you don't sound bubbly like you normally do. No, bubbly is the farthest thing from my personality right now. Sorry, but I was hoping the crochet would keep you entertained. Oh, it's still over there. Your work is beautiful. I don't mean to judge. I just see like 3 or 4 stitches and it reminded me of when I'm hooked into one of my serial killer docs and my TV and I stop to listen and I lose count. Oh yeah, that's why stitch markers are amazing. Right? Yeah, this week hasn't gone great for me. So, and Tuesday night / Wednesday morning, I had a really bad pain in my head, and it really hasn't gone away, so. That on top of everything else going on, and I'm supposed to have a video on Tuesday for the Disney community, and I don't have anything, so yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was trying to crochet a corgi earlier, and it just doesn't look right, so I know that I'm really off, because I make corgis all the time, so when you're making something you make like all the time and all of a sudden something is very off about it, yeah, that means something's wrong. Okay. Stitch markers are amazing. Yep. I plan on making use of my new cast-on markers on Saturday. My yarn for my Melt the Ice hat is supposed to be here by then. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had a friend in the Yarny community that sent me their board game that they want me to try out. It's a crochet board game, which is a pretty cool concept, I think. And a company sent me a new product to try. Thankfully, both my friend and the company know that my health is unpredictable, and so they're not like expecting it anytime soon, which is good because that was not going to happen. That's a good length. Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, I gotta get some of those. I pretty much freehand stuff. I've never really gone by a pattern. I just learned by example. So granny squares are my friend, but I'm now making cardigans. Good for you, branching out. That's good. You know, you can also make a cardigan out of granny squares. Or maybe that's what you meant. It's an interesting concept. He's got a cool idea, so I'll try it when I get around to it, y'all. Sorry. I make plans and I don't really know why I do that because my body has other ideas. And they usually wreck it. For example, I was all prepared to go to Fiberfest next month, and my body's like, that's a terrible idea, so I canceled my hotel reservation. You just do a 6-side granny square rather than a 4. Oh, yeah, the hexacardy. Yep. I've made one of those. I wore it on a live recently, actually. Secret Yarnery calls hers the party cardy, and that's the one I made. No, I'll keep it in the back. Okay. Or you can do a star, yeah. Same shape. Can also make them into jester hats. I've never knew that until recently. I only ever made beanies, hats, scarves, baby blankets, and the occasional stuffed animal, but nothing great because of sewing together. Oh, yeah. I know, people hate the sewing part. I don't actually hate the sewing part. I know, I'm an anomaly. Sometimes the sewing part is soothing. When it stays in place. Now, when it wants to move and it's on a weird angle or something, yeah, the sewing can be really frustrating. But for the most part, I don't mind it. I do try to make my patterns as low sew as possible because I know other people don't like to do it, but, you know. It's kind of just part of crochet, y'all. Sometimes you're gonna have to sew. But that's cool about the jester hats. Yeah, that's pretty close. Oops, I think I made it too long. I did. The stuffed animals seams of their legs or heads look funky, but the hats look fine. I don't know, I struggle with adding legs to an open seam. With an open seam to a closed surface, that's what I struggle with the most. Yeah, that's a tricky one, but it's not as hard as you think. You just need some practice. My advice would be do more patterns where you do that, because the more you practice, the better you get. You can watch videos, there are tips and tricks and everything, so yeah. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. Now I'll just sew that piece on top. Hi, Lesia. Oh, come on now. Behave. No one even wants to take a random guess. I'm surprised. I thought you would find this fun. That's why I didn't say who it was in the title or in the description box. Oh well. Maybe the replay people will enjoy guessing. That's better. Oh, you will. You'll know. I haven't done a very crucial part of this yet, which would give it away, like, immediately, so that's why I didn't do it. Okay. I need to add this. Candy corn with long blonde hair. That's an iconic couple. Hi, Charlene. Or Charlene. Sorry, I don't know which way you would like to be addressed. Just one of you. Thank you. If you were here at the beginning, I said that the colors on the orange were not quite right, but it's all I've got in this yarn. So there we go. Now then, I confess I don't remember what color their eyes are. So we're gonna go with blue, because I can't remember. And if it's a different color, I can rip it out later. No. Not them. But at least you guessed a couple. I have a feeling her eyes are not blue. Oh well. No. But I will show you that I've been showing you this, and it's actually this. This is kind of a dead giveaway. Pretty sure they're a couple. They're usually included in couples' costumes, so I really hope they are. There we go. I'm not giving them like good solid eyes just in case the color's wrong. I can take it out. Otherwise I would go back and forth and make them like really good eyes, but I don't know if I'm right, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. Possibly. I think they need little noses. I think that'd be cute. I don't normally give them noses unless I'm making like a gnome or a dwarf, but I think we'll do noses. Well, tell the couple costume industry, because I've always seen them as a couple costume. So that's weird. There's a cute little nose. Okay, she has a little nose. Let's give him a little nose. I'll tell you who they are in a minute. Let me finish them first. Who is Selena? Oh, Selena Kyle and Batman. Nope. And actually, that's not 100% true, because Anne Hathaway played her and she's a brunette, and she was not in a wig. But you're probably referring to the Michelle Pfeiffer version. And yes, in that she was a blonde. However, she's almost exclusively been portrayed by brunettes. Almost exclusively. Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, Anne Hathaway, Eartha Kitt, Halle Berry. Yeah, brunettes. There we go, cute little nose. You still don't know? A man in a mask and a blonde. I really thought once I added the little thing to his mask, y'all would know. So here's the guy with his little mask tied in the back. And there's a blonde with a Renaissance style hairdo. It's Wesley and Buttercup from The Princess Bride. Zorro was a better guess, but no. It's Wesley as the Dread Pirate Roberts in disguise, and Buttercup. 1980s, Princess Bride, As You Wish. Ring any bells? You have never seen The Princess Bride? Oh my goodness, add that to your list. Yeah, so I added his little tie for his mask. The thing I can't remember is, I'm pretty sure his eyes are blue, but I think hers might be brown or green. Oh well. I can fix it later. Anyway. There they are. I saw someone on Instagram make them into ducks. I thought that was so cute. I love that idea. I tried to make them into corgis. It was a huge fail. So, I might try again, because I really like this movie. If you grew up in the 80s, especially. Yeah, I thought they were green. Oh well. It's fine. I'll fix it later. I'll just look up, you know, what color eyes does Robin Wright have? And there. So I clearly cannot choose the cup in front of me. Yeah, I'll look it up later. It's not that big a deal to me. I'd really like to make them in the bigger size, with details and stuff, and her little gold accents, and a much better orange for her dress. But I really wanted to use this stuff because it's easy to use. And I like it. It has good stitch definition. So yeah, that's what I made. You should see it. It's a good movie. Highly quotable, as you can see from the comments. In fact, people in the replay, please leave your favorite quote from Princess Bride. I would love to see that. Yes, he has blue eyes. I was pretty sure about that. Hers were the only ones I was not sure if they were blue or green. Although for some reason I also thought brown was a possibility. I don't know. Thank you. Last year I made, was it last year? I think it was last year I made Danny and Sandy from Greece. I've also made the Corpse Bride, but I would like to make Victor at some point. I've made Jack and Sally. I've made part of Edward Bloom. I didn't finish him, but I could. So I'd have to make Sandra Bloom from Big Fish, and yeah, I've seen people doing that. I actually have made a Ninja Turtle. I made Donatello as a commission for a friend of mine's brother. I don't usually do commissions, but they're practically family, so I did it for him. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. But yeah, the Ninja Turtles in my little tot size would be cute. One of my favorite quotes in the movie is when Billy Crystal says he is only half dead. Mostly. He's mostly dead. Yes, Billy Crystal got, and Carol Kane, both, they got kind of the run of the room, and they improv'd most of their stuff. So I feel bad for the actors in the room that were with them, having no idea what they were gonna say. I have been asked to do Friends, the Friends cast as Tots. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Whatever you want to see as a tot. I might make a tutorial, you never know. But these are the teenies. They're very small. They're only 12 stitches wide. Sometimes I go up to 18, but it depends. But yeah, they're mostly 12 stitches wide. I've made Scooby and I've made Shaggy, but that's the only ones I've made from the gang so far. And I've been told that my Scooby Tot is cuter than the Woobles. Yay! That was one of my favorite things y'all have ever told me. Is when you thought my stuff was cuter than the Woobles and you'd rather make mine. And I do love my Scooby Tot. He's adorable. He's a good boy. I love how his snoot turned out. Yeah, I kind of want to do Hanna-Barbera characters next. I don't know. Hanna-Barbera has kind of been on my mind since last year. And I don't see a lot of people do stuff with Hanna-Barbera in crochet, so yeah. Yeah, I'd basically probably just make my Scooby pattern smaller. I'd probably just use like a smaller hook or something to make him slightly smaller. My Scooby is made in a 5 or a 6 weight yarn and a 4.5 millimeter hook, I believe. So I would use like a 4 or a 3.5 and maybe a worsted weight yarn, and then he would be smaller. And I may or may not make a tutorial for Scooby this year. I don't know. I could also make it for members only, so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. We'll see. But anyway, if we did the 12 days of Teeny Tots, this is the size they would be. So then you could put like a little ornament on, you know, a little ornament hanger for Christmas, here. Or whatever holiday you celebrate. So that's a good size. Also, they wouldn't be this sloppy. This is my hands shaking and frustrating battle with this hook. And then of course I used this and this are supposed to be the same size, but they really aren't. This is just thin enough to throw off my tension, which is irritating, but yeah. It's supposed to be the same size. It is not. Challenging teeny tot would be dragon tails, especially Zach and Wheezy with the 2 heads on one body. I saw someone recently who actually made stuffed animals of dragon tails. Yeah, I remember that. I think the kids I used to babysit, I think they used to watch that show. But yeah, I remember dragon tails. I have 2, but not teeny tots. Yeah, that's okay. But anyway, if we did the 12 days of teeny tots, this is the size they would be. Obviously, there'd be 12 of them. And I don't know, you have to let me know what kind of theme you think you'd like to do. They could be Christmassy, they could not. Dragon Tales was cute. I also liked, what was the other one? Cyber Chase. I liked Cyber Chase, which was funny because I didn't like math, but that show was mainly about math. I think I mainly watched it because Christopher Lloyd's voice. I was too old to watch that show, but I did anyway. When you major in criminal justice, you don't... When your focus in college is very dark and you read and study the most disgusting people on the earth for your job, your future job, you basically want to come home and hug a puppy and jump back into like childhood cartoons and stuff just to make you feel better. So that's what I did. Could you do 12 teeny tots that remind you of each month or a holiday? Oh, I see. Well, I was thinking about doing it, you know, around November or December. And then if you want to turn them into keychains or ornaments, there you go. There you're ready for your tree or Christmas gifts. And I have made teeny princesses before. I've made Jasmine, Cinderella, Merida, and I didn't make Aurora. I made Glinda the Good. Yeah, she kind of looks like Aurora from how I made her, but she's Glinda from the Broadway show. I made her for the 30th anniversary of Wicked on Broadway. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Michaela. I could do something similar. I was even thinking that maybe I'd do a bonus one. So it's like we have 12 days of tots, and then maybe the last day is like a set that's a regular tot with a teeny tot. So for instance, if we did Christmas, then, you know, it'd be like Santa and Elf, you know? Hi, Rose. A books theme. I like that. I'm working right now. I want to make some sketches. It's in my head, but I haven't actually made sketches, but one that I wanted to do last year and I didn't get to do it. I really want to do it this year, especially with the new series coming out. I really want to do Narnia, the characters from the Narnia books, as tots and pill pal pets, maybe for the animals, because I don't think the animals would translate well as tots. I mean, I've done it, but it worked okay for a dog and a cat and a bird, but I don't know about beavers and lions. That may not work. I'm really excited to try Mr. Tumnus, though, because I've got to mess with fur yarn. I think that would be cool. That would be cool. I think the lion, you could do the nose stitch for ears and single strings for the hair. Just do one line of hair. But we're talking about Aslan here. Aslan has to have an epic mane. I mean, he's the great lion. You can't give him anything skimpy. No. He's worth adding all that hair individually. Normally, I don't like adding all the hair with the yarn and then cutting it and everything, but we're talking about Aslan here, so yeah, I think it's worth it. I might even give him paws, because again, he's the great lion. I'm tempted to go off the BBC version because, yeah, probably not a popular opinion, but BBC is better than the Disney version. I've said it and I stand by it. But I think I would go off the BBC version to do the White Witch because I think she's way more terrifying in the BBC version. In fact, I thought she was Angelica Houston for years, but she wasn't. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot, but he's gonna be fuzzy, but I mean, he's gonna be really cool looking. Yeah, he's gonna be cool looking. Oh yeah. If he's not cool looking, I won't show you what he looks like, because he won't be acceptable. Yeah, I want to do, at bare minimum, I want to do Aslan, Mr. Tumnus, and Jadis, also known as the White Witch, at like super bare minimum. And, you know, eventually the kids. But I can't decide if I want to do the kids or if I want to do them in their like royal regalia as king and queen. I don't know. Ooh, maybe get a fuzzy yarn or a yarn you can divide into 3 so it's thinner. I do think the lion will be the hardest. I do not think the lion will be the hardest at all. I think the lion will take the longest because of all the hair. I don't think he'll be the hardest to create or make because he's a lion. He's got a lion body and a lion mane. There's nothing ridiculously special about him. He's just a big lion. Jadis, on the other hand, how am I going to make anything look like icicles? I mean, she's got, at least in the BBC, she's got like a fur coat. She's got a dress that looks like icicles. She's got, oh my gosh, the crown. Oh my stars. I'm not looking forward to the crown. The crown may be made of felt because honestly, I don't think I can make anything that pointy that will stay up. Because her crown just looks like a giant spire. And yeah. Yes, he will be beautiful. He will be. He will be lovely. I think I'll enjoy making him. Yeah, her crown is gonna be something else. Mr. Tumnus as well. He's gonna be tricky because of fur yarn. And then if I decide to teach y'all, I have to make another version that doesn't have fur yarn in case, you know, you don't have fur yarn. So I have to teach you how to brush it. Because Mr. Tumnus, that's not furry. I mean, come on, that's not even a thing. So I would like to do those three. And I don't know if they're successful and if y'all enjoy making them, maybe I'll make the children. Which will be very easy, but I love the beaver couple, especially in the BBC version. They're so cute. And then, of course, there's characters from the other books. That would be fun. So, yeah. Are you able to put a pipe cleaner in her crown to have it stand? I would, except what I'm thinking of doing is too thin for the pipe cleaner. I mean, if I was really going at it, I would just, like, get a silver pipe cleaner and make that the crown. But I don't want to do that either. I'm really thinking about felt, honestly. And there's nothing wrong with using felt in your projects. There's no shame in it. I know people try to make us feel bad about it, but there's no shame in it, truly. So, yeah. I may end up doing that. By the way, if you've never used this yarn, I do recommend it. It's very nice. I like using it because it's mostly cotton, so if you use these to make bag charms or whatever, it's going to do well in the weather. I make my Disney friends bag charms out of this yarn, which is unfortunate because it's a very limited palette. So I'm kind of limited on what characters I can do. And this is all the scraps we have. Not bad. That's all we have for making both of these. I think that's pretty good. And I will put this in my little scrap bin and mix it. We can mix it with the regular stuffing. There you go. And I'll put that in my stuffing bin. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Hope you had fun seeing the creation of these two. Sorry this wasn't a, like, super fun live, but I'm called the Spoonie Stitcher for a reason. The Spoonie part comes first, so. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Please leave a comment down below after the live. Tell me what you want to make. Tell me what tots you would like in any size, any form, you know, small, large, whatever size. Tell me what tots you want tutorials for. And I will write them all down. Thank you so much for being here today. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. Bye.